Hello everyone and welcome to another pick a card reading. I hope you're all doing really well and it's really good to have you here. Thank you to all of my returning subscribers, and for all of you that are new, really good to have you here. I'm really just ecstatic that you're here, so thank you for joining us. So today's reading is about what guidance is there from your spirit team. So this is all involving your angelic team. This is involving your guide team, your guides, your spirit guides, your ancestors, your guardian angels, you know, the whole shebang. So we just want to see what they've got to say, what messages that want to come out. This reading has been with me for a couple of days actually. I just haven't managed to get round to it. But I have been thinking of it. So here we are. Okay, so we've got 3 piles for you to choose from. Pile 1, which is this moonstone. Pile 2, which is this carnelian. And pile 3 is this beautiful bloodstone. They're all beautiful. I just said beautiful bloodstone, but no favoritism. Just saying that it's beautiful. So pile 1, the moonstone, pile 2, the carnelian, and pile 3, bloodstone. Pile stamps, timestamps will be in the description box below, my friends, and I'll see you at your reading. Bye. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful moonstone. There may be something about the underlying message of something. It might not be obvious what's going on. It may be there for you to see, like in terms of being glaringly obvious, but I wouldn't be surprised if you wouldn't be able to see the message of what they're trying to say to you. But they are trying to say something pretty clear. They are trying to get in touch with you via your intuition. Moonstone is the 3rd eye chakra and also you know, the divine feminine. So we are looking, and because it's white as well, it's full moon, so there is a slight masculine edge to it. In terms of the whole fullness of like the white brightness, because you know the full moon is only the full moon because it's reflected from the light of the sun, so it's the most masculine form of the female, if that makes sense. As opposed to like the new moon, which is kind of like the ultimate female form of the moon. I'm seeing these kind of these marks here. I don't know if you can see them. They're inclusions that happen normally with the stone, but what it reminds me of is something that a lecture I listened to in my meditation practice, and he tells a tale, the guy who's saying it, about a young boy who, there's a really lovely dish called kheer, which is Kheer. It's made out of rice pudding, and it's made with like sweet, it's a sweet like rice puddingy kind of vibe dish, dessert dish, Indian dish. And the child sees like a little black stone in there, like a tiny round black stone, and because the child sees the stone in the kheer, it says that I don't want it. I think it looks disgusting. I think it's like dirty or whatever. I'm not going to have it. But the mother encourages the child to take the stone out and eat it anyway, because that's cardamom. It's meant to flavour the pudding. But because the child is so kind of fixated on the brown spot, it will throw the whole dish away. So there's something about this, I feel, that, and I'm just seeing the purple, the beautiful purple. I don't know if you will be able to see that here in this light, but I can just see the purple undertones of the moonstone. So there's something that's really beautiful within this moonstone, or beautiful within this message, that may be missed because you might be thinking or disregarding it for something else. You might be thinking that it's not relevant. Purification, really interesting. Right, okay, so, and then that's Aquarius. I don't know if you can see that. Usually it would be better if I did this reading at night with these cards. There we go. But yeah, purification. We've also got 17, which is the star. And it's also Aquarius. Transit Umbra, Lux Permanent. That means transient light. I think it's transient light. No, it means that darkness is impermanent, but light is permanent. So, but it was reversed. So what that says to me is that there is this fixation. It kind of confirms to me that there's this fixation on the negative, in a way, of something that's happening, something that's going on. You may be thinking that a certain situation around you is not working out in your best interest, and now you're looking at the kind of things that are wrong. There may be a fixation with the things that are wrong within a situation. I'm also seeing that the night sky is up the top here, like with this that part is like, or not even the night sky, that's actually meant to be the sun. So there may be a light that you're not seeing, basically. So in a way, it feels like your spirit team want to alert you about something. They want to alert you about something. Okay, let's check out the astrology. My pile ones, what does my... Dear spirit team of my pile ones, what would you like to say to my pile ones, dear spirit team of my pile ones? Spirit team of my pile ones. Spirit team of my pile ones. Spirit team of my pile ones. And one more for luck. Because the thing is, right, the immediate thing I got from that story about the stone was that Virgo element. Virgo is about... It is about purification. It's about discrimination, you know, not in a negative way, but in a way that it can like tell what the difference is between something that is not supposed to be there and something that is supposed to be there, if that makes sense. Okay, so we've got Jupiter return benefits. Okay, your Jupiter return comes at around about the age of 30. No, it doesn't. Sorry, let me check. Sorry, every 12 years. It comes every 12 years. So what were you doing 12 years ago? What was going on 12 years ago? And I mean, we did have like quite an interesting thing that was happening recently with the Jupiter Uranus conjunction. So that might also be something that might be playing into this as well. We've also got the number 13, so that equates to death, and that also equates to the number 4 of the Emperor. So you've got some there's some quite strong messages here to tell you to pay attention. Pay attention to something, because I've got a feeling that something that is beneficial to you actually may not be being perceived as being beneficial. Does that make sense? That's what I can see right now. Do I want any more oracle cards before we continue? Yeah, I think I do. Okay, let's have a little look at some oracle cards for you, some tea leaves. Okay, spirit team for pile 1. What would you like to say to pile 1? What would you like to say to pile 1? Okay, right. So we've got frying pan, trouble, accusations. We've got fox, shrewdness, resourcefulness, especially in business. And then we've got 3, kite, vacation. Okay, right. So I think I see what's going on, but I might need to continue with the tarot. So there may be a situation that you're involved in, but actually you're needing to have some kind of place where you step back. There's 2 things. There's either that, or there's either that you may be managing a situation and you see something within a situation that's making you think, what the heck is going on? And you're like, okay, you know what? And then you're finding out, like, you're either accusing someone or you're basically attacking someone in some sort of way, like you're saying that they're doing something. And what really needs to happen is you just need to kind of take a chill pill and just like get out the situation so that you can kind of see what the benefits are. That's what I would say that. Because I don't know, somebody might have made a decision that you may not agree with. And that really resonates strongly with the whole child thing that I said at the beginning. You know, the child just kind of like getting rid of the whole dish with that little stone because they don't really understand what the stone is. Now, I'm not saying that you don't understand what's going on. It's just that sometimes when you're so involved within a situation, you do not see the wood for the trees. Now, what that means is that sometimes it's difficult to get perspective on a situation where you're so enmeshed in. And trust me, I have been there. And as I've said so many times to all of my viewers here, if this doesn't resonate or if this does trigger you, please do switch off and, you know, just go and find another reader. There's thousands and thousands of other tarot readers on YouTube, and we're just reading, you know, we're just doing the best we can. So don't come for me. But the people who understand this and get this, please do carry on watching. I've just got that feeling where, like, sometimes you've just been in a situation and sometimes it's just a bit too much and you end up like maybe losing your cool at someone or something happens like that. I think, and then what happens is that because you've got a vacation here, I think you need to get away. Like, you need to get away from the situation, not just like, oh, I'm going to get away and go on a holiday, or I'm just going to get away and I'm just going to like take a few days out. I'm talking about you really need to get the heck out for a good amount of time so that you can just get some serious like perspective on it all. Fox, shrewdness, resourcefulness, especially in business. I've got a feeling that this is going to turn out in a really good way. I just think that there's something here that seems that it's not that great, but it actually is going to help work out in a really good way. And this might be a similar situation to what happened maybe about 12 years ago. If there's any kind of situations that you can think of, or maybe if you think about yourself about 12 years ago, there may be something that happened there, maybe some kind of karmic issue or something. But yeah, okay, so we've got this one. Okay, right, can you see those? No, you can't. Okay, right, you're gonna have to put those up there. Thank you. So already we've got like the Empress reversed. So I don't know who it is, but somebody is expressing some kind of negative form with their female self. And when I mean that, I mean like either, you know, it could be you, as I said, like as a boss doing that, or it could be or it could be somebody that you know that's doing that to you. Okay, let's just pop that there because then we can just see that. The thing also I'm getting is out of the frying pan and into the fire. So I don't know if certain types of behavior has exacerbated that. Okay, Right, so we've got the Queen of Swords. Okay, very interesting. Empress reverse, Queen of Swords. We have the Tower. We have the Ten of Coins. Interesting. And then we have the Knight of Coins. Yeah, this is definitely to do with work. So if it wasn't, this might not be your reading, but this definitely feels like it's to do with work. So I would say that similar to what I said in terms of the situation, that's what's happened. And I don't know, there may also be some sense of you trying to adhere to some kind of protocol at work. You know, like maybe someone has said, you know, there's certain things that the people have to adhere to. And you're like, yeah, they have to adhere to this. But you're actually realizing it's actually detrimental to even you in a way. It's almost like it's a system that's like got stuff that's going on from the top down. It's not even just you, but you seem to be enforcing stuff onto people. It seems like that. And if it's not that, it might be you suffering from that. Do you know what I mean? The main thing is to make sure that you are not looking at just the shit, and that you're looking at the good things of the situation, because there is something very good here. There's something very fortunate for you here in terms of you being able to like move through something. Because in fact, the whole idea of inaction is going to be very, very powerful for you. So that's why you've got to go off and do your own thing. Or just make out as if you're not going to do anything. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because it's going to be a little bit of a shock. It might be a little bit of a shock, because you might think, oh God, like what the heck am I going to do now? But actually, you know, it kind of shows stuff that wasn't really your fault anyway to begin with. It kind of shows, you know, maybe indiscrepancies with the company or something like that. The Empress reversed is like a kind of a really toxic maternal figure. Somebody who is not like, it's all the queens reversed. So it's all the negative aspects of the queens in the most matriarchal version. So it could be a toxic boss. It could be a toxic like female boss in particular. Doesn't have to be female, but there's a strong female energy from there. It could also be like a toxic boss that is being very passive and that passivity is also being very toxic. And then it's almost like, right, so the only way to kind of respond to that is by having this inaction. So I'll give you an example. Like, I know at the moment, there are some things, like some unions that are working, are fighting for, you know, to meet with companies to organise backdating on pay. Because, like, say, for example, like paid lunch breaks and stuff like that. The unions keep on urging for, like the workers' unions, they keep on urging for people, like for the companies to meet them in negotiations. But the companies keep on putting back the meeting dates and not doing it, and it's really frustrating the workers and the workers' unions. So the workers' unions, because of that behavior, which is Empress reverse, that's almost like I'm putting you off, I'm putting you off, I'm putting you off. So then what's happening is actually that the Knight of Coins represents the workers' force actually going into strike in a way. So they're deciding not to move. And the Queen of Swords is almost like, you know, the resultant action, because they are the workforce, and therefore they're the ones that will decide not to go forward because they're striking. So it's really interesting. I don't know, that was just an interesting example, but it's actually what's happening. So yeah, that kind of like resonates with that. And if it resonates with you, then yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. So what are your spirit guides saying about this? Your spirit guides are saying for you to really understand that there is a real silver lining within this quite dark cloud, because it is a bit of a shitty cloud. It is a shitty cloud. It's full of shit, because you know it's almost like you can't see it, but the sun is right there. You've got these things here. you know, frying pan. But you've got the fox in terms of like business shrewdness. You've got vacation, kite, you know, this kind of like whole opening up towards something new. Like, I don't know what it is, but you really have to prioritize yourself in this. And that's what your spirit guides are saying to you. They're saying to you that you need to find a way to be able to prioritize yourself amongst all the shit, really. That's what they're saying. I hope that's clear, because like I've had a few comments sometimes about people saying that my messages are not clear. And I do try to summarize, but I mean, I'll be honest with you, the amount of people that have been so supportive, all of you that have been really supportive in my work, you know, they kind of make it all worth it. You make it all worth it, my beautiful supporters. So thank you. And I'm really glad, because the likes tell me that you understand what I'm saying. Also, yeah, so I hope that's clear. Yeah, you can just about see that. I might need to just bear with me. Okay, that's better, because you don't really need to see the crystals as much. Okay, so we've got Temperance reversed, clarifying the Tower, which makes absolute sense. Then we've got the Eight of Embers, which is the Eight of Swords, clarifying the Ten of Coins reversed. Yep, that makes sense. Then we've got the Nine of Birds, the Nine of Swords, which is the Empress reversed. We've got the Blue Heron. Oh, I love that. The Blue Heron and the Pink Fox. This is the special card, the bonus card that comes with this deck. What does it come up for you? Let's just have a little look. Oh, I can't see it on the camera. Okay, it comes up for you as the Pink Fox, but I don't know if you can see it if I tilt it that way. But it comes up as the Blue Heron. Okay, love it. And then the next card, which just wants to be here, this is the Tower. Wow, you got the Tower twice, all right. All right, so this is a big, like a big shift and change in this dynamic in terms of you trying to adjust some kind of paradigm that's happening. So what that means is that if you've had some imbalance, it's almost like there's a striving for chaos or out of the chaos, or chaos is needed in order to create some kind of harmony. Because, you know, you've got Tower, you've got Temperance reversed, then you've got the Tower again. Things are going to happen quite fast. What I do say by this is that your spirit guides are going to be coming into play through your stillness. So I would highly recommend that you meditate. Make sure that you meditate. Make sure that you're doing things that are going to be really helping you to remain still within a situation where you are going to be triggered. You are going to be pushed in a certain way. I'm not going to lie. You're going to be... It really does seem that this is very much the... you know, a collective oppression and a collective pushback. It doesn't seem like this is an individual thing, you know, but it's very much affecting the individual. This is very much a collective reading for pile one, because it's almost like on a work ethic. There's nothing to do with love or emotions or anything like that. If there is, then, you know, you take it how it resonates. But like right now, your spirit guides are telling you that you have, I wouldn't even go so far as a purpose, but you have, it's really in your best interest to make sure that you are fighting for the right things in the right way. And again, it comes back to that story that I said, you know, are you going to throw out everything in respect of one small thing? So for example, you could not fight this battle and you could just do something else. You could just step away, and that's fine. But there is a good likelihood that it might follow you. It might happen again somewhere. because this is a bit too much. This is a bit like kind of, it's almost like you have to face this in order to like get through it. Particularly with this blue fox and this blue heron and pink fox, because there's some kind of sense of transformation for you to achieve here. And even though death is not here, this is like, it's almost like, do you decide to walk through the portal of change, or do you decide to stay within the same paradigm and live that life for another Jupiter return for another 12 years? That's what it's feeling like. I don't know if you'll really have the choice, because you've got the shore here, but I think things will move. Things are going to move. God, this is really exciting. Really exciting. Your spirit guides are not ramping. They are just like, they're not like saying anything light. They're like, right, we mean business, pile one. I'm just trying to think what else. 9 of birds. This situation has not been very nice, you know. It's not been very nice at all. It's been really is that one? Yeah, it's not been nice. It's been quite belligerent. I feel like it's been aggressive. It's not been nice. It's been unsettling. If it hasn't been, then I really don't think this is your reading. But if it is, then, you know, I'm sorry that that's been happening to you. Your spirit guides are reassuring you that this is all for your growth. Tower appearing twice is exactly, I think, as I said, like, this is about you keeping yourself in certain kind of like structures where you felt that you are safe. It's really interesting because, like, I was thinking, oh yeah, it doesn't really resonate with me, and now I'm like thinking, oh my god. Okay, so in a way, it's important for you to remember the structures that we build ourselves. You know, we think that we've made a new start. We think that we've done something differently compared to like what we've done before. But actually we've entered into the same similar phase, or the same kind of thing, the same patterns. And what this is saying is that you've got a choice here whether or not to, like, you know, and it's not like you don't recognize that there is something that you've been like kind of getting back on the merry-go-round with. So now you're choosing whether or not to kind of, are you going to break that tower down for real now? Or are you going, well, I don't know. I think you are. I think this is it. I honestly think this is it. If this isn't the work situation I described, this is, again, like maybe a situation where you've entered into and you've just found yourself building the same kind of relationships, building the same kind of like interactions with people, building the same kind of home. You may have even moved to a different place. And then you've done exactly the same thing that you did when you were trying to get away from this other place in order to like make a fresh new start. But you found that you've done exactly the same thing. So there's a bit of that. There is a bit of that. So what's happening is that it's actually very good that that's happening, because it shows you in a way like how to work with the lessons. And I mean, you know, we're not perfect. We're just human. We're just doing the best we can as human beings learning in this experience. So all we can do is just understand what we're doing now and take that on. You know, we just do the best we can. You know, there's no, oh my God, like, what am I doing? I should have figured it out all by now. Yeah, whatever. Okay, wow, look at that. Hippopotamus, the master of emotions. I love that. I love that so much. And that's really true, because that's another thing as well. Like, when people talk about enlightenment, and because the meditation technique that I study is apparently the technique that the Buddha used to become enlightened. That's like, I don't do any other meditation technique really. And there's a lot of stuff that happens to, you know, quote unquote, become enlightened, or like the understanding of becoming enlightened, particularly within this current spiritual climate. Because to understand the idea of becoming enlightened is something really, there's a really interesting saying. Before enlightenment, you collect water and chop wood. After enlightenment, you collect water and chop wood. I was having this discussion with someone who I just cannot remember who it was, but I think that a lot of people out there are already enlightened. And for me personally, whoever is a master of their emotions are definitely enlightened. These are people who are totally not triggered. Like, it doesn't mean that they just take all the crap that's out there from people, and they don't fight for their beliefs, but they're able to do so in a way that exudes so much love and compassion that they could be the beggar on the street, which I don't know the whole deal with Eckhart Tolle. I'm not sold on him completely, and sorry if some of you are, but hey, each to their own. Some of his stuff I do like, but I'm not sold, it's just interesting about him. But anyway, that's the whole guru thing. But the way I see it is that he's got, it's just really interesting in the respect of his, the idea of him being a beggar. And, the stories that come, you hear so many of these gurus talking about it. And I'm not going to quote anybody, but there is truth in that. There is truth in renouncing that. And the only reason why I say that is because I spend time in renouncing that, every year, and go into a space where I live like a monk or a nun for an extended period of time, where I don't have my phone, I don't have my outside worry, I don't watch, there's just nothing, and I stay in that space, and there is absolute joy in that space. There's amazing things, and also in sense of service and giving to other people and being in service to other people. And the beauty and the freedom of not having anything. So that there definitely does lie that in that respect of enlightenment, so to speak. But I think, we have to be really careful about what we think, that kind of spiritual attainment is. It never is over. And even if it is, we are helping others to attain that as well. And usually for me, the people that don't really know that, the people that are not really, this is the thing. If you're aware of it, then apparently in Buddhist scripture, you probably are, you probably do know about enlightenment, and you probably are enlightened. But those who say that they are probably aren't. It's really interesting. I don't know about the dynamic. We've all got our own opinions on it. Don't come for me. And I know I've gone on a massive tangent. But what I'm trying to say is that this is a long path and we're all trying to get there in some kind of way. And what your spirit guides are trying to say to you is that we're all human, or you're on this human plane. You're existing in this human kind of dynamic to understand something, to learn something. And this is what's going on right now. And right now you're not listening. So you need to listen carefully. And yeah, the ego may get in the way and may be like, oh, what are you talking about? Don't know what you're talking about, Reena. You're talking a load of shit, whatever. And then just switch me off. I mean, hey, I'm just some random reader on YouTube. But essentially, it's about what you decide to do with yourself in terms of how you can react to other people. And becoming the master of your emotions is a key thing. That was so much ramble. I'm really sorry about that. But I hope it made some sense. Okay, let's have a little look at some... I want to have a look. I got these beautiful new cards from a friend of mine. She's a very dear friend of mine. And I've wanted these cards for so long. And I had to use them for this reading. You're on the brink of some kind of deep spiritual kind of, there's something that's happening here, because this is alchemical, this purification thing. You're in a process of it, but I don't know, I don't know how, where you are on it. I think, no, I do know where you are on it. You're in a good place with it, but it's about, are you going to enforce that upon other people and impose that on other people? Or are you going to view things with compassion in a way that you're going to be able to understand it in an even better way that's going to be even more beneficial for you? So anyway, enough. I'll get off the soapbox. So here we go. You got 2 cards, and I'm going to take these upright. So we've got community and action. I mean, these cards are so beautiful. God, I love them so much. So action. It's interesting because even though we've got vacation here, we've got action. Now, even taking a vacation is an action. A sense of community within what you're doing, that's also very important. Because, you know, if you're going to... Have I got space on the other side? I'm going to put that there. Looks a bit lopsided, doesn't it? Yeah, so, like, I think that people are looking to you for some kind of thing. They want you to do something, right? They do. They want you to do something. It clearly seems to me like you're in some kind of position of some authority, of some thing. But what are you going to do with that? That's what this is saying. And that's what your spirit guides are saying. What are you going to do with that responsibility? What are you going to do with that? Are you going to oppress? And are you going to fall into the same patterns of the people that had come before you? Or are you going to move into a new space where you're going to evoke some kind of change that is going to strengthen yourself and everyone around you? And empower everyone around you? And that's what's happening. That's what's happening. You've got a real choice here. And it's up to you. And you can either be... And this is another thing as well. Like, I really believe in managing people. Lead by example. You don't lead by forcing people to do stuff. You lead by example. So if you're providing a shit example, then how are you going to lead by that? So you need to make sure that the example is strong. Even if it's not pure. Like, when I mean not pure, even if it's not perfect. Even if it's like... God, who the heck is perfect, man? Like, you just got to just do what you can and show that, you know, we're all human. I'm watching this really beautiful YouTuber who is like doing people's gardens up. And he's so compassionate towards the people that he's doing the gardens. You know, some people can be so judgmental, including myself, because my Mars is in Virgo. Like... You can be so judgmental about people and about what they're doing and about how they live their lives. But, you know, there's no point to that. It's about being compassionate and loving. And this is all the journey that we go on. This is the whole learning experience about that. So even like not being judgmental about people who, like, you know, are working for you and why they're doing what they're doing. It's almost like understanding and being compassionate as to why that they're doing that. Okay, so I want to get some angelic guidance for you. So that's what your animal kind of guidance was saying. This is like astrological guidance. Your ancestors, I think, are going towards this way. I think this is what your ancestors are saying. I think your ancestors are also saying this as well. And these are your kind of like higher level guides. And also they're also speaking, everybody's speaking through this. But this I think this is mainly through your, these are your ancestors that are saying this. Okay, so let's have a look at some angelic guidance. 636, patience. Okay, let's read it. We've got, when the winds of uncertainty blow and the mind races with indecision, remember to slow down and surrender to where you are right now. Cultivate patience in your soul, for it is stillness between the actions where the seeds of profound growth are sown. Slow down, breathe deeply, and trust that all is well. I mean, that would kind of like come in with the whole thing to do with sugar. With that stillness, the vacation. You know, it's almost like you need to take a break. But I think it's longer than a break. It doesn't mean pause. It means that you need to like do something else, I feel. Okay, so dear spirits, guides for part 1, ancestors, spirit team for part 1, what chakras do they need to look at? Okay, so we've got spirituality, moon, exception, moon. Yeah, so moon, exception, acceptance. This is your spirit guides, yeah, folks. This is not just me, all right? So don't give me shit, okay? This is your spirit guides that are doing this, okay? They're like, tell them, make sure they understand, make sure they know what is going on. Okay, we'll do one more because I'm feeling generous. Oh my God, all right. Spirituality again. Spirituality. Yeah, so rising. Oh my God. So we've got 2 spirituality. And one is Moon and Pluto, so transformation and acceptance. So I mean, I did say transformation earlier. We didn't get the death card anyway, but we do have the pink fox here, the blue heron. So as I said, like there is some big element of transformation that is happening, but I think you have to observe emotions. We've got master of emotions here. We've got this beautiful kind of purpley vibe as well, that we can see. So there's definitely like some kind of yeah, some kind of not control, just mastering of the emotions that needs to occur. The thing I'm seeing as well, hippopotamus is showing me right now the submergence, like being submerged under the water and just watching. Remember hippopotamuses? I don't know. Like they are really vicious. Yeah, they are like. They are very dangerous animals. So just remember that. Okay. So I've got 2 cards to end out the reading. It's been a bit of a long one. I'm sorry for the lecture, but hey, here we are. I don't know which one to do last. Okay. I think I might have to do this one and then I will do the other one, which is kind of going to leave it on a nice, happy note. So let's have a look. So you've got willpower. Wow. Improve your willpower to reduce your stress level. Interesting. Reduce your willpower to reduce your stress level. Okay. You are, no, hold on, that's the wrong one. I want W, not Y. Okay, there we go. So there's a beautiful poem here, which I'll read to you. Because it's it's the Sufi oracle, Sufi wisdom oracle. Okay, so show me your face, so I would be free from desire to see the roses. Stand tall, so I would see nothing but you, the lofty cypress of my garden. No matter how much you hurt me, Hafiz would never turn away from you. For I have found my freedom of movement, and I became a captive of your love. A life-changing moment has come to you in the fire of transformation and is calling you to say yes to love with your full will and conscious awareness. Hafiz is here to free your heart from the temptation by guiding you to see the beauty of the beloved. When your heart shines with courageous love, you have the capacity to override unwanted thoughts, feelings, or impulses. By surrendering to love, you have the willpower to resist short-term gratification in pursuit of long-term goals. When loving becomes your habit, it draws little, if any, willpower from you and frees up more of your energy for other things. You are at a crucial point. It is a time to make a choice about your reason for being and for what your life will stand for. If you feel that stress and normal self-control have depleted your resources, it is only because you have so much willpower. Let's see what options you have for increasing the pool of willpower which you can draw from. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, it says here, yeah. This is what I was saying, like, it's about you making the choices for yourself rather than like following to the whim of somebody else. So if you need to make a decision for your company or for your team or for your people or for yourself that may be against like some kind of like hierarchy, you need to do it because that's what's making you feel like that you're not in your power at all. Okay? Okay. Right. So I'm just going to shimmy those up so that they're all in shot. Okay, this card is one of my favorite decks. Okay, so let's just finish off with this because this has been enough of a lecture. I'm sorry, part 1. I'm so sorry, but you know I love you so much. And I'm probably talking to myself as well in this. Okay, Something to close out the reading. Angel guides, spirits, ancestors. What? Any other words you want to say to my pile ones? I've already given them a battering, so what are you going to do now? Right, okay, so, wow. Oh, I might cry. Okay, so, we the cosmic tumble down and ramble on to forage for stars, for they taste so sweet. Now, for those of you who are a bit confused about as to what that means, that is to remember the divinity within you, the divinity of what you are, the divinity of what we are, the divinity of what we represent, the divinity of what we could represent. There's a really beautiful poem by, not a poem, it's kind of, I don't know what it is, but it's a really nice quote saying, I don't know, but it's a Carl Sagan thing, which is, I think it's a quote that he said about stardust. We are all made of stardust. Go and look up that poem because it's amazing and it makes me cry all the time. So yeah, it's beautiful. And remember, like your spirit guides don't talk to you like, oh yeah, by the way, hi, you know, this is this and this is that. You know how they talk to you. They talk to you in signs, they talk to you in symbols, they talk to you in feelings, they talk to you in emotions, they talk to you in like thoughts, they talk to you in all sorts of ways as they would to you, and only you know that. So make sure you're paying attention. They're telling me, like, please tell pile 1 to make sure that they know that we are by their side, helping them to understand what the right path is for them. If they listen to themselves clearly and they really take the time to hear the voices that are speaking to them, and we're not talking about anything else, we're talking about the spirit guides and the ancestors and the things that make you feel good and wholesome inside, the ones that resonate with your sense of self and your internal spirit guides, your internal compass, your internal guidance system, then that will be the thing that tells you what is the right thing to do. Okay? Pile 1, wow. That was some serious channeling that went on there. I hope this resonated. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. Yeah, like the video, because like that helps others to see the video. Not many people can see the video if you don't like it, so please do like it. But otherwise, my darlings, and do check out, I've got like playlists and all sorts of other videos. Do check them out. I've got loads, so do check them out. And yeah, if you've got any ideas for readings, let me know. But anyway, have a beautiful day, morning, night, evening, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember, my darlings, I love you, and honesty is always key. Bye. Hello, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful carnelian stone. There seems to be some kind of message guided towards nurturing oneself. The idea of being within this kind of beautiful, this is a very like comforting stone for me. Even though it's carnelian, it's just a very nice stone, and it was given to me as a gift. So it's a beautiful stone that's almost like an egg being incubated. So it's almost like there may be something that needs to be incubated, something that needs to be taken care of. Your guides are asking you to be aware of something that needs to be nurtured. That's what I'm getting from this stone. Let's have a look at the card. We've got karma. I'll just pop it like that, if you can just about see it. There it is there. The number at the top is, well, it isn't a number, it's the sign of Libra. And then you also have the heart and the feather, as in Mart, when the weighing of the feather takes place just before you pass into the underworld. And karma, and it is reversed. It's number 11, but it is reversed. So there's something, I think that this thing that you're nurturing may be something that you need to fix. Not something that you need to fix, but something that you're doing is, in a way, fixing karma. That's totally not the thing that I just came out with, but like, it seems like this nurturing of this thing, whatever it is that you're nurturing, is reestablishing the karma, like you're redressing the karma through that. And your spirit guides are going to give me some more information about that. That's really interesting. Really interesting. Okay, let's have a look. Spirits, guardians, angels, ancestors of pile 2. Could you please give me some information about what it is that you want me to say to them? Information for the collective of group 2. Information for the collective of group 2. Okay, I keep on getting lots of cards. Dear spirits, guardians, angels, ancestors of group 2, could you please give me some astrological guidance? Okay, so we've got moon, soul, and then we've also got truth, Saturn reversed. Okay. Moon, soul, and truth, Saturn. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to pop it like that for now, and then I might have to like adjust it because there are going to be quite a lot of cards that come out. And then I'm going to choose some tea leaf. So what I figured out from pile 1's reading is that these are like kind of ancestral, like kind of spirit guides who are speaking here through these astrology cards. And then these here are kind of like your ancestors. So let's see what they have to say. So we've got yoke, which is feeling tied down or frustrated. A yoke is what is attached to like either an ox or some cattle to like toil the soil. This is what they used to use in agriculture, in kind of more earlier forms of agriculture, where they used to hook on the plow behind the yoke, behind this section here, and then they would toil the earth so that it would be turned over for new crops. But here it's saying feel tied down or frustrated. Actually, I'll go for 3. We've got a heart, deep love, deep affection, and caring. I don't know if that's coming to focus. Yep, lovely. Wow, yoke, heart. Okay, right. I think I know what's going on. And, oh, wow, you got the same as pile 1. And they are 250 cards. There are like at least 200 cards. At least 200 cards. So you got the same. All right. So frying pan is trouble, accusations. I think that there may be something about also some of you may be, I don't know, there may be something to do with love here. It could be that you have 2 pathways to choose from. You have the pathway to choose maybe a love, or maybe yourself, or maybe what you want to do in terms of career. I feel like you know what the right path is. Saturn is reversed. I do get the sense of like there's a shying away from the truth, particularly because these 2 are reversed. So you may be following the, you know, what you think that you want in a relationship. You may be thinking that the relationship is what you want. But actually, I don't know, there's something else here. There's something else here. And it feels like the relationship, if it is a relationship, for those of you that you are in a relationship, like I think, I don't know if it's, like you're finding, I find that there's compromise. I feel like there's a compromise here on oneself, because there's a kind of abstinence from the truth and there's a resistance to the kind of karma. Trouble, accusations. It could be that a partner's like accusing you of stuff and you're just like, what? I'm doing the best I can. That's how it feels. It feels like somebody who's trying to do the best that they can within a situation, but is getting accused by someone else and saying you're not doing the best that you can. You're not doing what you can. Now, this could be a friendship. This could be a love partnership. This could be like some kind of arrangement that you have with, like, you know, parents or whatever, or family. But there just seems like there's a compromise between what you want to do and what you feel you should do. Does that make any sense? But your soul knows the correct way. Okay, let's see what the tarot wants to say about that. Okay. Dear spirits, guardians, angels, ancestors, for my spirit team of pile 2, what do you want to say to them? What is it that you would like to say to pile 2? What would you like to say to pile 2? Only benevolent messages? Or messages of love? Bless them, right? Pile 1 got it hard. So, like, you know, like... Okay. So we have the World reversed, the Hermit reversed. We have the Sun. We have the 5 of Coins. Okay, I didn't really want to do that, but I will take it. And then we have the 5 of Swords reversed, and then we have the 4 of Coins reversed. Okay, right, so... Interesting, pile 2. Very interesting. I do want to say you're keeping your cards close to your chest. No pun intended. You're not making this very easy. Your spirit guides are wanting to communicate with you, but they're finding that I don't know. I just get the feeling that you want to take the hard road. You don't want to be receptive, or there is a kind of stubborn nature that's going on here in the respect of not accepting something. Yeah, not accepting defeat. Yeah. It's a bit of a karmic circle, if I'm honest. Got to listen, right? Your spirit guides are saying what they're saying. This ain't me, so don't come for the messenger, okay? If this isn't your reading or this triggers you, switch off. But yeah, this is really interesting. A cycle that hasn't ended, and there's a refusal to look within. Happiness kind of comes, it's there, like, you know that you can achieve a good sense of something, but there's still a deep sense of misery here. In a way, I feel like it's something to do with a kind of spiritual aspect which is not being addressed, and that's why we've got Saturn reversed, and that's why we've got karma reversed. 5 of Swords reversed is kind of like a, I don't know, I just feel like this is a refusal to give up on thought patterning. And there is a stubbornness here. I don't know, I just feel like, you know, if you feel that you've got what you need materially, you're not really that bothered. That's what it seems like. That's so interesting. So what do you want me to say to pile 2? What do they need to do? Okay, ancestors, what are you saying? Okay, so for you to love deeper, because, okay, we've got no cups here. We've got no wands here. We've got 3 major arcana here. So in order for you to redress the balance, there's a need for you to listen to a deeper sense of your intuition and take care of the thing that is precious. It's really interesting because carnelian was very, very important to the ancient Egyptians, and these are the 2 cards that are standing out to me. The 5 of Swords reversed, and that's where we have set upright, but it's reversed here. Yeah, so in a way the Sun is winning, but I'm not convinced. I'm not like convinced that this is true. Like, I'm not convinced that this is, because we've got the 4 of coins there. I mean, well, you know, if you want to look at it at one level, yeah, and your guides are really speaking to me, through me to you in this way, you have got what you want materially. Like, it seems like you know how to get what you want on the 3D. But there is a denial. There is a denial here. Because this 5 of coins, the 5 and the 4, what are they doing there? They shouldn't be there. If you had like some kind of like holistic kind of understanding of really embodying the richness of what you're achieving here, then these would not be there. Yeah, you could say that it is despite that. But then if that was reversed, then I would be convinced that you'd gotten over that. But because it hasn't and it's reverted back to the 4, this means that there's almost like this sense of you holding on to that so that you don't lose this. So then it becomes a bit superficial. And I think you want to go to this, but there's something that's kind of blocking it. Let's have a look. You've got to tell me more, Paul. You've got to tell me more, Spirit team, because otherwise Pile 2 is going to come for me. Like, I need to tell them. What is it? What guidance do you want me to give them? Okay, so a cycle is not ending. The world. What's going on? The 7 of Pentacles. Can you see that? So where you feel that you are, if you feel like you're at the end of something, you're actually very near the beginning. You're not even close. You're not even close. If it even comes to your work, like, I don't think that you're even as close as you think you are. You may be happy. You may be in a good sense of abundance and happiness, but it's still, we're not like, we're all 5s. You know, 7, 5. 7 is as high as you've gone. Let's see what the other cards have to say. But, I mean, you know, we've only got 4. You end up in the 4. So that's still like really low numbers. 3 of Lotuses reversed. Okay, you may have, oh, okay, right. Okay. Or the 3 of Cups reversed. And then the orbs, that's 8. That's strength. Wow, you love it. Okay, yes. Okay, I see what's going on now. Sorry if I had a bit of a go at you. Okay, right, so we've got the 7 of Swords, which is being, okay, right, I see, Ace of Pentacles, yes. Okay, I get it now. 4 of Pentacles is clarified by the 4 of Pentacles. That's nuts. Okay. You are in quite a defensive posture. I'm just going to go and switch on the light. Bear with me. Okay, so promise me you won't come for me. And remember, this is just a general tarot reading on YouTube. And if you want a personal reading, you can get in touch and we can go deeper if you're brave enough. But so basically you got to a certain stage where you felt good about things, but it wasn't enough. I don't know if like somebody around you or like groups of people around you, you may have wanted to collaborate with someone because it was a lot of work. You wanted to do it with someone, or you wanted someone to help you. So maybe you employed someone, or maybe you employed some friends, or maybe you got some people involved. But I don't think that that really worked out. And I think that maybe you ended up like sacrificing the relationship. You may have, it may have been a friend that, you know, the friendship broke. And what's happened is that, you know, your sense of tenacity in how you've achieved your own sense of status within yourself, like you've done it yourself, has actually been really good. Like it's actually showed you that you can do this by yourself. You can do it. And for a long time, it seems like you were not really, you know, nothing was really coming to fruition. Nothing was really happening. But you were consistently honest with yourself, and you didn't give up with yourself. You decided to kind of continue going, and being honest with what you couldn't do and what you could do. And that's why you've amassed something quite solid in a way. So that's what's going on. Okay. Now I get it. Totally understandable. Your spirit guides understand it too. But they want something from you. They want you to understand something. There's still something that needs to be looked at. What needs to be looked at? Okay, hopefully the I don't know, I think it might be that you felt that you needed someone, and actually you didn't. But I'm not getting the vibe of like, oh yeah, you know, I did it myself and now I can expect. I'm not getting that. There's something about your intuition and a sense of truth. That's it. Okay. Yeah, you don't need other people to do it, right? You don't need other people to do it. But you do also need to figure out like why you trusted those kinds of people in the first place. Why you thought that that would be necessary for them to be involved in that way in the first place. That's what it is. Because there's something to do with the connection of people. And something about like, you know, this card here, I was reading the book behind the stories of all of these, because the writer has done a book of a compilation of all of the stories, and this is the little match girl, which is one of the most devastating stories I've ever read. It's really, really sad. And she dies in the story, spoiler alert. But yeah, anyway, but it's a really terrible story. Like it's hard. And that's there at the core. So there is a deep feeling of like, you know, because like loneliness, and I'll tell you why, because you've got this deep affection and caring, and then you've got the Hermit reversed. The Hermit, I don't feel like the Hermit should be reversed. I feel, and we do see the Seven of Swords here, so it may be to do with the types of people that you trust. And what I think Spirit is trying to tell you is that you still haven't learned the lesson that you if you got burnt with people in the past about something, there's still a lesson to learn. It doesn't look like you've learned it. It looks like you've gotten by and you've sorted yourself out and you've recovered, but it doesn't look like you've learned it. I remember, you know, I had a few friends that like kind of you know, were dating, and then they got involved with some really off-key characters, like not very nice characters. And then it happened, it turned out that, like, looking at the succession of, like, the types of guys that they'd gone out with, it had been a continuation of that same kind of guy. And that's the kind of thing I'm getting. Like, people just get involved with the same kind of friends because they're not really paying attention to the reason why that they're being involved with those types of friends. Trust me, I have done this completely, and I continue to do so. It's just how quickly I realise that those friends are not that good for me. Do you know what I mean? It's whether or not my kind of like BS radar kind of like starts to go off and goes, okay, right, I'm done now. I'm done with this. And as I've gotten older, now my BS radar is not so long. So maybe I would have been friends with someone for a year or two. But now I see that if that person is starting to be like an idiot, then I'm just like, you know what? Or even if I just get a sniff of a red flag, I start to observe stuff. And then I'm like, all right, you know what? I've already like taken a step back and put boundaries into place to protect myself. And that's what's going on here. Because the lesson is not learned here. And that's what your spirit guides are saying. They're saying, yeah, you recovered, all well and good. You did. Pat on the back. But you need to go deeper, because otherwise this yoke wouldn't be here. And that's probably why feeling tied down and frustrated is happening. And there's this yearning for like deep love and caring. That's a very ancestral thing though, you know. I've seen it in so many families where they just had to deal with the BS of stuff. And it's the same pattern over and over again. Just happens again and again. So it's a very common thing, Pile 2. Don't feel like, you know, oh God, you know, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's just, you know, it's just having the courage. There's that really amazing poem that's actually part of the 12 steps. Give me the courage to see the things I cannot change. And then something, and then the wisdom to know the difference. I don't know it off by heart, but it's that kind of thing. Like, it's being able to discern, like, you know, what's going on and where maybe you might be being an addict to certain things. I don't really see that there is addiction here. There's no addiction, but it's just this imbalance here. We've got Libra here, 3 of Lotuses here, and Truth, Saturn reversed. There's a hard truth that's not being learned, and this karmic cycle is repeating. So yeah. And the 4 of Trees is the block. Twice. We've got 4 of Pentacles twice, and that's a block to me. So yeah. Okay. Luck beyond fear. Okay, so I would say about this card is that there's a need to believe that there is something more beyond what you've got. And I think that's what your spirit guides are trying to ask you to do. They're trying to get you to just believe that there is something more of a possibility. Because, you know, Moon is upright here. Your intuition is strong. There is an opportunity for you to kind of do something about this. But you have to have the courage to do it. So let's have a look at some more guidance from your ancestors. Guidance from ancestors for pile 2. Okay, I don't want to take, it's just too many cards. I can't fit them all. Thank you. Oh no, you got to, oh God, 3. Jesus. Okay, right. Okay, I need to just have 1. Thank you. Stillness. Okay, stillness. Stillness. Okay, so I'm seeing I don't know, I'm seeing the northern lights here, and I'm also seeing, okay, and I'm seeing the swan. Northern lights, the north is usually to do with Lord Uriel, Archangel Uriel. We also have the swan, so that's also to do with love and compassion. I do feel like there is a search for love going on here. And it's almost like you have to be still and unfreeze your heart a little bit. There is some of that that's going on here. And this trouble accusation card is not about, I don't know, I did say at the beginning, like it might be about external, like you might be having it from a partner or something, but it might also be yourself, accusing yourself of things. So just be aware of that. Okay, let's have a look at some angelic numerical guidance for you. Pile 2. So taking some time as well to like be, to do meditation, to just be still, to be within the moment, to enjoy everything that's there, to find the sense of love and compassion within that moment would be really useful, I think. Okay, so we've got 1212 or 1212. Breakthrough. It says you are on the cusp of a significant breakthrough in your life after a period of stagnation. Your willingness to grow is all the energy you need at the moment. Set new goals, live them out. Opportunities will come to you effortlessly if you open yourself to the growth and new possibilities. So, I mean, you are being very divinely guided here. Very divinely guided. I think, you know, it's important for you to remember that your ancestors, your angels, your guardians, your team, they're all around you. And it feels like they want you to nourish yourself this way. It's either maybe it's your heart or maybe it's your chi energy. I don't know, but there's just something that they want you to nourish and nurture really beautifully, like this bird. They want you to nurture it. So that you can feel that, you know, I don't know, I just feel like there is a little bit of being hard on oneself. There we go. Love essence. This is the chakra energy to connect. Can I put that there? I don't know. It's because we've got 6 cards here. I'm going to pop that there like that. There we go. Right. So this is love, sun, inner sense, inner self and essence. So I mean, that actually resonates with what I was saying just then about that. It's about you nourishing what is your sense of essence. What is your inner sense. That's the one that I'm like, that's the word I'm coming out with, inner sense. As in inner and sense as in the sense, but also inner sense as in like innocence. So there's something there for you, pile 2. Okay, I need to think about that. That's really interesting. Okay, sorry, I don't know why I'm being confused now. Okay, power. Okay, the right is making sense now. You have to be still in order to remember that communication with yourself so that you can connect with your sense of purpose, and then that will help your self-esteem to blossom into your sense of inner, you know, who you are, understanding who you are. Because I think there's some kind of like, you're lost a bit here. That's what it feels like. It feels like you've got strength in something which is tangible, but because, you know, the Ace of Pentacles is reversed and then we've got the Four of Pentacles here. So there's something about like there's a bit of stagnation that's happening, and we need this sense of movement. We need this sense of growth that's going to like kind of like help us in a way, or help you to move forward, to evolve in a way. I don't know, I just feel like maybe you're attaching yourselves to particular situations, particular relationships that are diminishing your essence and your self-esteem. I feel that, and your spirit team are telling me that, you know, you really need to have a look at who it is you're choosing to be around you and fix that up. That's what they're saying. Don't come for me, it's what they're saying, all right, not me. Okay, so penultimate card. Face your fears and farewell to fear phantoms. Right, I'm just going to get the book because there's a beautiful, beautiful poem. And I must share it with you. Enter the lion's jungle. Don't think about getting hurt. Fearful thoughts are simply phantoms of the mind. No one is harmed in this jungle. Everything is compassion and love. Your fear is what holds you back like a bar behind the door. Rumi. You're in the presence of divine kindness and generosity. Allow it to lift you beyond an ordinary consciousness. Open your heart to the gift of faith and trust in the divine protection. When you become aware of the presence of the divine joy giver within you, you awaken to the spiritual power that is already embedded in your nature and recognize that you've been created for joy that can lift you beyond your limitations. Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean? Right, okay, here we go. So, I mean, if you get lost in mundane details, so yeah, it's... If the world seems like an unfriendly place, it means that you may be lost in mundane details, except that pain and struggle are a part of life in the same way that pleasure and joy are. By doing that, you will lessen the tension and fear and the impact of its force upon you. As Rumi points out, life is not harmful to you. It is your fear that makes phantoms in your mind. Love is a creative power, and you are here to live that truth and experience. So I am removing the idea of failure from my thoughts. I allow the power of courage, of love to help me face whatever happens. So I think, you know, it seems like you've gotten so far within your kind of material life, and you need to transpose that onto your like daily life. You need to transpose that onto your, you know, onto your life, basically, onto your emotional life. And you can, of course you can. So do it. Okay, so just to finish out your reading, some gorgeous little cards from the Blooming Lovelies Oracle. It's Blooming Lovely. Right, okay, let's have a look at what they say. I love this oracle. I can't wait. She's coming out with a tarot deck, and I just, oh, we can't wait. Me and my sister-in-law can't wait. Anyway, wow, I love that. Oh, love it. Excuse me. There goes destiny masquerading as chaos. Pile 2. I really hope you enjoyed that reading. I really liked it a lot. It was really good. I'm so honoured to have your team come and channel through me. They love you very much, and they care about you very much, and they want you to know that they are always with you, by your side, always. So do remember that, and call upon them whenever you need them, because they will be there. If you enjoyed this reading, please do give it a thumbs up, because if you do, then people can find it on the algorithm, and then whoever needs to watch it can see it. And I really appreciate your feedback as well. If you want to let me know in the comments below what you thought, or you want to share, that'd be really nice. But otherwise, my darlings, have a beautiful morning, evening, night, day, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So, what messages from your spirit team? What guidance is there from your spirit team? Bloodstone. This may be to do with some latent talents within your ancestral lineage, to do with blood. Yeah. It's pretty clear, really. what I'm getting. Let's see what the other cards have to say. Limbo. Sagittarius. I don't know. Can you see that? These cards are beautiful, but they are the most difficult cards to see. I don't know. Can you see that? There we go. So this is reversed. Oh. Okay. This could be a message from some ancestors. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay. That was very clear. Yeah, I think this might be a message from ancestors. If any of you are feeling quite close to your ancestors, or like any ancestors that have passed, if that's recently, or if it's that, and it might be a maternal figure, or there may be, or it may be somebody on the maternal side, there may be something there. Okay, so we've got boat, money, property, or windfall, or money, property, or property through an inheritance, winning, or windfall. And then we've got bouquet, compliments from an admirer. Lovely. BB. And we have spear, heartache after what you no longer have. Okay, I mean, like, if this is over a passing of a loved one into the spirit realm, for those of you that this does resonate with, they're probably still trying to communicate with you. They're probably still very much around you. Spirits take some time to traverse over to the like fully to the other side, and you know, they will very much communicate with you. If they've just recently passed, then usually they can communicate with you very clearly, or even more so than they have done. It tends to be a little bit more difficult the longer it is, but yeah, there's something there. They're telling me that you like to trust yourself, to trust who you are, and to trust yourself. There also may not be examples of like trustworthy people within the lineage, but it seems like you have latent abilities that have expressed themselves in a way, or you have something. They really, really think that you're amazing. Even if you didn't have that great a relationship with them, they really care about you. Because, you know, it's very important to remember, like, when it comes to ancestors passing on, they don't suddenly change into something. They're very much still the same people that they were. But, you know, there's just this sense of, you know, now that they've gone to this other place and they're not going to be able to contact you anymore, so in the way that they used to be able to. So there is that sense of being, you know, they will tell you what they need to tell you. Ten of Swords reversed. The Eight of Swords upright. Okay. The Chariot. The Three of Wands. Wow. Okay, and the Ace of Coins. Okay. So what I see is that they're like, wow. And that Three of Wands is very interesting, because that is a ladder that's made out of bones. Okay, so the ancestral is very strong right now. The ancestors are around. Okay, so they're telling you not to worry so much. If you've got something on your mind, it's honestly not as big as you think it is in the long game. You know, if you were worried about something that there's a lot of anxiety here. If you think that you were worried about something that they wanted you to do, or if you think that you can't live up to something, whatever it is, they're saying to you, you know, just chill out. Seriously, it honestly is not that important. And what's really funny is that they worried about exactly the same thing. Like, when either in some kind of way, shape or form, that they did the same thing. They did the same thing. This is a recurring pattern. And you have to be really cautious of it, because it stops you from moving forward in the way that you're supposed to. It actually defuncts, it kind of like, defuncts your plans. It kind of like, it messes up your plans. It stops you from being able to do what you're supposed to be doing. So it's almost like a sense of self-sabotage. And it disrupts best laid plans. So you need to trust yourself, because you have a lot going for you, Par 3. You have a lot going for you. But you think a lot. You worry a lot. Overthink. 3 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords. Okay, so you may distract yourself with work. Not just that, I also think that you should also work with other people and ask for their opinions. I think that that's really important. I think it's a good idea to talk to people that you trust about your fears, right? I'm not talking about this stuff. I'm talking about your fears. I'm talking about your anxieties, whatever that is, within the 3D reality. That's what your spirit team are telling you to do. Ace of Swords is clarified by the cosmic tree, which is also the Hermit. So in this context, you're not alone. Like, you don't need to be alone. But also, there is a sense of you really listening to yourself. Like, do listen to yourself. And what's really interesting, actually, oh no, it's not that. Sorry, I thought it was a different card. It's the cosmic tree. Well, that is interesting as well, because the cosmic tree is indicative of, I don't know if you can see that, it goes to the cosmic tree, and then you've got the Hermit. So the cosmic tree is also the idea of, is the lineage, is the ancestral. So that means that you're not listening to the ancestors. You're not listening to them. You're not heeding the lessons. You're not heeding you're not listening. And the only way that you can listen to them is by silencing and going within. Chariot is clarified by the Tower reversed. Three of Wands is clarified by the Page of Chalices, the Composer. Okay, well, the potential is there, Par 3. Ace of Embers, Ace of Coins. Okay, so things are burning out quite quickly. That's what's happening. And I think you're not really looking at long-term gain. You're looking at short-term gain. So there needs to be like there's a bit short-term stuff going on here. You need to look at the long game. I don't know, some of you might have come into some kind of inheritance. You might have, you might have come into an inheritance or something. And what's happened is that now you need to really work with it. Like, don't squander it. But there is something here that's saying that there is kind of like, yeah, I'm just going to just do whatever. Because it's almost like, I don't know, the scenario that I'm getting in my head is someone who's like come into money and then now they've thought, okay, wow, okay, now I can get out there and do what I need to do. There are things that I've always wanted to do. So let's say, for example, I'm going to go and study. I go and study, but it isn't about like, maybe you thought, oh yeah, like I wanted to be a lawyer and study for the bar. But you know what? I've always really, really liked to do pottery, and I've loved doing that. And maybe you've always dreamed about being a lawyer, but then suddenly you've just got this kind of like urge to be a potter. Not to say nothing against anything. This is just an example. But then what happens is then you end up like dedicating a good chunk of time towards pottery, maybe about a couple, 3-4 years, where you could have dedicated that towards being a lawyer or understanding law. Do you know what I mean? Like there's just something that's not like the Ace of Pentacles is reversed, which means that there's a squandered opportunity, whereas it's gone for something that's short term. It's not grounded as much as it could be. I mean, by all means, if you do what you want to do, but like there's just this kind of like imbalance here, particularly with the 2 major arcanas being reversed. You want them upright. You want the positive aspects, but the shadow is here. So this is old stuff. This is old karmic patterning that's happening. Yeah, because all the majors are reversed. They're not upright. So you need to sort that out. That's what your ancestors are saying. Like, you need to sort it out. You've got opportunities, don't squander them, pile 3. You've got a lot going for you, pile 3. Don't squander it. Okay, let's see some animal guidance. What do your animal guide spirits want to say? Okay, you got 2. So you got leopard, ambition and strategy, and healthy ego. Ah, very interesting. The Ace of Wands is ego all over the place. It looks like that for a reason. Okay. In the tarot, a lot of us look at the Ace of Wands as exactly a long phallic thing. That is exactly what the Ace of Wands is. So, you know, keep it in check. Don't just go for short-term gain. Go for long game. Healthy ego, knowing what's right in terms of your ego, and ambition and strategy. Take it, like, figure it out properly. Don't just, yeah. Don't just squander. That's what I'm getting. That is what I'm getting, pile 3. Ooh, transformation. That did a nice little flip. You got 2 actually. Lucky you. Okay, right. So you got transformation and trust. So what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing the 2 sides, and then I'm also seeing the trust in the respect of, it's not that you don't trust what's happening. I don't know, like, you need to learn how to trust yourself. Because I think that you have got something really, like, it's almost like you've got a prize. And you need to be mindful of the fact that, you know, you've got something very precious here. And that needs to be handled correctly, in a mature sense, in an egoless sense, you know. I hope that makes sense. No pun intended. Okay, let's have a look at some angelic. That was your ancestors speaking again, you know. So that was your animals. These are your ancestors, these sections. These are your direct ancestral. pile 3, I don't know. Maybe you don't trust. Maybe you don't trust. Maybe you're thinking, well, I don't know what's going to happen, so I just need to go for it, you know? And, or as in like, you know, maybe being a bit impulsive. That's what that's kind of highlighting. So maybe there's a bit of that going on. Yeah, I would just take your time. Yeah, just take your time. Because you're going through something. Absolutely, with this limbo card. There's a transition that's happening. Okay, angelic guidance through some numerology. That's number 100. And then we've got inner knowing. And it says your heart is a wise and sacred portal to the divine, a place where wisdom and intuition reside. Through stillness and introspection, you can tap into the limitless well of knowing within you. This connection is your true self and will guide you towards your highest path and purpose. So trusting yourself. You need to trust yourself. Okay. So, and 100. I just think. I just realised, yeah, so that's temperance. That's the number of temperance. And then this is like almost like the temperance card. So there is this need for balance. But you have to discern between the fire and the intuition and the knowing. You have to trust that part of yourself. Because I don't know, the only way I can see that happening is if you react out of a place of fear, which would be unhealthy ego. You know, that's fear-based. So, yeah. Okay, so we've got two. Your spirit guides are asking you to focus on these areas. So these are the chakra areas. Okay, so communication, Saturn, discipline and authority. So you need to be disciplined with how you communicate with yourself and with others around you. You need to set boundaries. That's what that is. That's boundaries. Okay. And then we have power, Uranus, individuality, non-conformist. You know, like, if it comes to the fact, like, say, for example, I gave you that thing earlier about the example earlier about being a potter, or being like a ceramics person. You know, maybe if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. If that's what you've always dreamed of doing, but be like kind of decisive in that. You know, really go for it and recognize the sense of power that comes from that. I think when you really understand what it is that you want to truly do, then there's so much power that resides in that nobody can stop you. And I think there is like a bit of fear here, because, you know, I don't know, it's just this thing from the past. I don't think it's to do with I don't think it's to do with you thinking that you can't do it. It's to do with thinking that, is it normal to do, or I don't know, there's just some inner kind of, I feel like there's like an inner tug of war and you're trying to wrestle with that. That's what I feel. And your guides are trying to help you to calm that down and trust yourself more. Trust the process of transformation. I just realized that, you know, when a caterpillar can only form into a butterfly when all of the parts of the caterpillar have gone, you know? And that's really interesting. So I think you have to, you know, kind of embody a bit of that energy. The old part of you has to be completely gone in order for you to fully trust what it is. You know, give yourself time, you know. Okay, so to close out the reading, this is the penultimate card. This is a Sufi wisdom card, and there's a little poem that's attached to this, so I'll read that out, and then I will do one last card before that. Are you kidding me? This was the same card that came out for pile 1. Wow. Pile 1 or well, one of the other piles, I don't know. But anyway, let's have a look. So, improve your willpower to reduce your stress level. Show me your face, so I would be free from desire to see the roses. Stand tall, so I would see nothing but you, the lofty cypress of my garden. No matter how much you hurt me, Hafiz would never turn away from you. For I have found my freedom. I've become a captive of your love, Hafiz. So a life-changing moment has come into your life. And it's calling you, it's the call. It's in a way the call. It's saying to you that you've got a decision to make about what it is that you're going to take charge of within your life. How are you going to do that? Your ancestors are calling you to do that. They're calling you to take this opportunity and to go with it. Okay? They're asking you to manage your stress levels by spreading love so that you can increase your ability to resist pressure from others to follow a path that is not right for you. So this is very much about you understanding what your boundaries are. And I don't know if you have come into a lot of money, it might be very useful to like remember who were your friends before that happened, or like who was around you before that. And that is including, you know, lawyers, professional people, family members, whatever it is. Just take time to recognize that. Because I don't know, like some people might be saying to you, oh yeah, do this or do that. But you need to listen to yourself, like truthfully. And you need to be assertive with it. You really do. You have to be really assertive. But people will listen to you. Because I think you got the money, so they're going to listen to you. Do you know what I mean? Anyway. I hope this is making some sense. Because I'm not entirely sure what's happening. But I hope this is making some sense to you. Your guides are like... they know what I'm talking about, so yeah. Anyway, trust. So pile 3 to close out your reading. This is a card from the Blooming Lovelies Oracle. Love it. Yeah, so let's see. Oh my god. Oh my god. Can you see that? Can you see that? I will survive. I will survive. It's one of those weird like grubby things that like survive even like during nuclear holocausts and stuff. They are like the only thing that can survive. I can't remember. I've got them in one of my other tarot decks, but like yeah, they're really good. They're really like they do survive. So I don't know, pile 3. It seems like you've gone through a lot. You've gone through a lot of heartbreak. I don't know, like it feels to me like with this spear going into this heart here, it feels like something's hurt you. You may have got good financial abundance, or there may be stuff around, but you know, you want to embrace life and love in a way that you haven't done before, and you know, your spirit guides and your ancestors and your team are asking you to embrace this space of discomfort that's going on for you right now, because they can sense it's uncomfortable, and there is a tendency to like go into old senses of patterning and behavior, and they're encouraging you and urging you to enforce your boundaries and stay within the growth that you are on, rather than reverting back to old patterns with this whole kind of new abundance that you may have. For those of you who are not in that space, in terms of material abundance, it may be to do with like you know, understanding abundance of abundant gifts in terms of your ancestral gifts. like new realizations, new understandings about people, but then also making sure that you don't have judgments on people, and seeing that you don't have those kind of like, you know, thoughts about how people should be in a certain place by now, or they should be doing certain things in a certain way by now, or they should have understood something in a certain way by now. You know, this is very much your ancestors trying to, you know, tell you that's a place of pain, and that isn't useful. And it's also from a place of like lack of survival. It's when people were like kind of like lack mentality. So you don't need that. You don't need to do that, because you've got everything that you need, and you need to be just really strong in your boundaries. Part 3, I hope that resonated. Your ancestors just wanted to chat through me like big time, so they did that. Thank you so much for allowing me to channel your ancestors. Thank you so much to all of the ancestors, guardians and angels and spirit teams that came through me to channel these messages. If you enjoyed this reading, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. If you do like this video and comment, it helps the algorithm dish out my video to other people who might need it. So please do that, because that really helps my channel. But otherwise, my darlings, have a beautiful morning, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember that honesty is always key. Lots of love. Bye.